Hello, welcome to the TechHub.training SQL Booking Barney's Bulk Books Buyers Challenge solution. In this challenge, we were looking at the bookstore Barney's and trying to come up with some insights to help management make some good decisions about their sales. So let's go ahead and jump into the data. Alright, so query 1 asks about finding which genres are more expensive than others. So let's go ahead and jump into the SQL view. Alright, we're going to select genre, the average of the price column, and name that average price from the products table and group them by genre, order by price, so that we can see the ascending price per genre. So as you can see, magazines, then children's, fiction, nonfiction, with the average price there. Moving on to query 2. We were looking to find which books were the most popular by the number of sales that they had. So here we have the product name, the genre, and the sale count by finding the count of the product ID, which is the unique identifier for each of the products. And we use the products table and the sales table, interjoining those two because we only want the products that have sold. And here we have a group by statement for both product name and genre. And the reason that we do that is because we have this aggregate function count in the select line. So we have to have aggregate functions for the other things we select. And an easy way to do that is just group by for the fields in the product in the select line. And then finally order by count, descending, and that's the sale count. So let's go ahead and look at the results of that. We have Where the Mild Wings Are, which is a children's book selling 7 times, and down the row for all products that sold. Alright, moving on to query 3. We were finding the number of sets that Ketchup in a Fry sold and when they sold them. So let's look at the SQL for that. So here we have product ID, product name, the sum of the quantity as the number sold, and the sale date. So here we have sales. We're using the sales table and the products table. Again, interjoining those for the same reasons as in query 2. And we have this where the product name is like Ketchup on a Fry. That'll get the book's title Ketchup on a Fry. And then we also have another, as part of that where clause, where year is 2023. And then again, group by everything that's not aggregated in this select line because the sum is another aggregate function. So we group by product ID, product name, and sale date. And then order by sale date to find the oldest to the newest. And when we run that, we find there are 4 dates where Ketchup on a Fry sold, and on each of those dates we have 1, then 2, then 2, then 4 sales on those dates. So it looks like it's getting more popular. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the challenge query, query 4. And this one was tricky. So we wanted to find each supplier, how many products they supply to us, and the total revenue associated with those products. So in this query, we wanted to do a nested query because otherwise we'll double count books. And because we only have 20 books, we want to make sure that we only end up with 20 books. And if we added these up, we would get to those 20 products. And otherwise, if we didn't nest a query and instead we just joined all the tables together, we'd end up with around 63 products. And because that is inaccurate, we have to nest this query into the rest of the outer query. And this is what that nested query looks like when it'll just return the supplier name along with the number of products associated with that supplier, which is a pretty simple query. If you can do the rest of this, you could for sure do this query. And then we just put that inside as part of the joins. So in this outer query, we're just selecting the supplier name, the num products, which comes from this table, which we call the SP, and then the total revenue. So this is another pretty basic query. We're just joining this nested query into the products table and the sales table. And then what we do down here is we're going to group by supplier name and num products again, because this sum is an aggregate function just like in the last few, so we have to be sure to group by these things so our query will run. And then at the end we're going to order by the number of products and then the sum of price and quantity descending. And as you'll notice, we alias this count product ID as num products, and down here we just can use num products. But in this outer select line, we use sum price times quantity as total revenue. But if we just try calling this total revenue, let's see, if we just call this total revenue, it won't run, and it's saying enter parameter value, and so it doesn't recognize this portion of the select statement as its own field, because it hasn't been its own field yet. But when we have this num products that we're then joining, we're joining this is a field on a table which you're joining to the other tables, and so it gets treated as a field just as the other ones are as well. So if we go ahead and put this back in for total revenue, now auto run. Nice, and what we have here is we have the supplier name, number of products, and total revenue. And as you can see, the supplier name and number of products, while they're in a different order, we got the same numbers as in this query, and then the total revenue from that outer query. So I hope you had a good time with this challenge. I think it was kind of fun with the different book names and the nested query, learning how to do a nested query with some simple ones. And so please be sure to post your solution on the TechHub.training website and let us know what you thought about it, and we'll see you next time.